Foreign Affairs, Chapter 13, Mending Fences. You turn to D, eyes wide, as you realize only one other person had any idea where I'd be when I was attacked. Ayna. What? But no, that doesn't make any sense. After everything you two have been through, I mean, she was in that tabloid picture with you. I know, but maybe that was part of her plan all along, to lure me into a compromising position. You sigh and rub your face. There's only one way to get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna go talk to her. You should let your security detail handle this. They can take Ayna into custody and... No way. I need to be sure about this. I don't want to turn it into a whole thing before I know certain it's her. I could still be wrong about this. God, I hope I'm wrong about this. If you're sure, but take Tatum. If she really is behind this, you need to make sure you're safe. You find Tatum waiting just outside and fill him in on the way to Ayna's office. And that's why I need to talk to her alone. Absolutely not. You're lucky I'm letting you near her at all. Please, Tatum. If we both go in there, she'll get defensive. I might be able to catch her off guard on my own. I promise I'll be careful, and you can listen to from the outside. Tatum clenches his jaw as he considers your request. Finally, steps aside, his face steely. Fine. But if anything happens, or if you get the slightest sense something is wrong, call me in. You nod and turn towards the door. Take a deep breath and step inside. Ayna looks up from her desk with a start. Clark, are you okay? I heard about what happened on the mountain. Save it, Ayna. You're the only one who knew where I was going. What? What are you saying? I'm saying there's no way my attackers could have known to find me at the lake, unless you told them. I know you're upset, but the mountain was covered in people looking for you. Yes, there were reporters looking for me near the resort, not violent masked men in the middle of nowhere. The fact that you're still trying to lie to me about it, Ayna. Her facade trembles and then breaks. Oh, Clark, I'm so sorry. Something inside you crumbles at the confirmation of her betrayal. I don't understand. How long has this been going on? Since the beginning of the year, I've been feeding information about you to my contact. The beginning of the year? What the actual... Your head feels like it's about to explode. You pinch the bridge of your nose, trying to get control of yourself. I can't believe you'd betray me like this. Please, let me explain. A man approached me before the year started with an offer. I don't know his name. I've never seen his face. I swear I'm as in the dark as you are. Somehow I'm having a hard time believing you right now. Ayna, in fact, I'm having a hard time even looking at you. Clark. Save it. Just stay the hell away from me. You march towards the door, and Tatum meets you, his sharp gaze set on Ayna. Should I bring the traitor in for more questioning? Don't bother, she's not a threat anymore. Follow Tatum across the campus to the security office to meet up with your mother and Winston. Tatum waits outside as you enter. Winston sits on one of the armchairs as your mom paces agitatedly around the room. As soon as she spots you, your mom rushes towards you and sweeps you into a hug. Clark, thank God you're okay. Oh, Mom, you came. Of course I did, sweetheart. I'm sorry that you would even feel the need to question that. Clark, I'm sorry for how I spoke to you on the phone yesterday. When I heard about the attack, I couldn't stop thinking about it. What if that had been our last conversation? I was completely out of line. Mom, I know you're under pressure. Way more than the last election. Even so, I can't let that turn me into a monster. You're my son, and I love you more than anything. She takes your hand, squeezing it tight. Then you'd better win and make it worth it. You wrap your arms around her and she hugs your back fiercely. After a moment, she pulls back far enough to turn to Winston. So what do we do? No, what do we know? The attackers are refusing to talk. One muttered something about our donor during an interview, but we haven't learned anything else. You press your lips together and look at the floor. I could tell them about Ayna. But what good would it do? She doesn't even name a person who contacted her, let alone the actual assassins. And I'm sure Mom will just say I let my emotions get in the way, another screw-up to add to the pile. The good news is they were able to take the perpetrators into custody quickly enough to keep the attack out of the press. Will we be able to keep it that way? Unless one of Clark's classmates talks to a reporter, yes. That said, I believe we should consider postponing or cancelling the Peace Summit. Why would we do that? This attack is a troubling development, and the fact that we've managed to thwart it will only drive whoever orchestrated it to act again, possibly even attempt to make a larger statement. An event like the summit would be too tempting a target. Well, then we'll double security. Triple it. Well, there are rumors that several key countries are getting cold feet. If they pull out, then they pull out. We have to forge ahead. Mom, you're right. The peace summit has to happen. We can't be bullied out of it. It goes against the entire spirit of what Mom's trying to do. Exactly. We stick to the plan and we make sure Clark has the most advanced security detail possible. Very well. I'll make the arrangements. I think the first move is to relocate your next fundraiser. Good idea. If it's close to the campus, then you can stop by, Clark. You can even bring your friends if you'd like. You see the gesture as an olive branch it is. Sure, that sounds nice. Mom gives you a genuine smile as Winston goes over the plans. That afternoon, you return to your suite and flop onto the couch, mind racing with the events of the last 24 hours. I miss having normal problems. Marshmallow's head appears over the back of the couch. You hold out one arm and let him climb down onto your chest. Yes, seeing you does help, Marshmallow. At least a little. But before you can get comfortable, there's a knock at the door. You open it to find Dean Lundquist, Professor Masako. Mr. Kent, may we come in? Sure, I guess. It's good to see you. Looking so well after that terrible incident on the ski trip. Thanks? Is this about increasing, campus security? We've spoken with your handler, and I've pledged to cooperate with any increased measures he deems necessary. Knowing Winston, they'll be extensive. I won't lie, your situation is a new challenge for Vancross, but it's one I intend to meet. Your safety and the safety of your classmates is one of the most utmost important to me. I'll do anything to ensure it. That's very generous of you, thank you. You eye them curiously. Their words are warm, but there's something stiff in the way they hold themselves. Is there anything we can do to ease your mind here on campus? I should tell them about Ayna, but something feels off. Clark, are you alright? I don't think I need anything else except a few days to get my head on straight before I go back to class. We'll make sure your professors are aware you have an excused absence for as long as you need. You give them both a tight smile as they exit. You get exactly 4 seconds apiece before Tatum appears, frowning anxiously. What do they want? They said they were just checking in on me. But isn't it kind of weird for them to just show up at my suite without warning? I was thinking the same thing. Maybe... What is it? Well, it stands to reason that whoever paid off Ayna's Seth could have gotten to the rest of the faculty, too. Tatum, are you saying I can't trust anyone? You can trust me. I know that, but what about my professors, my friends? Tatum circles the suite, checking every window. There's no way to be sure yet. For now, stay on your guard. Is this ever gonna end, is it? I'm sorry, Clark, I can't stop thinking about how I failed you on the mountain. How I let you be exposed. We've been over this. You didn't fail me. I did. I never taught you how to protect yourself. I let you believe I'd keep you safe, and then I wasn't there when it mattered most. Why do I feel like this is leading up to a diamond choice on how to teach us? I don't want you to be in that position ever again. So, what do we do? Let me teach you some basic self-defense. We can go to the gym right now. That way, even if there's something happens to me, you can protect yourself. Lips closer, his gaze soft. I feel a lot better knowing that you got some techniques that'll keep you safe. You'll teach me everything I need to know? Even if I have to spend all day making sure you've got the fundamentals down, I'll do it. All day together, Getting close? Learn self-defense from Tatum. It would be nice not to feel so useless. Give me a few minutes to clear it up with the rest of the team and organize an escort. Is that really necessary? Yes. I haven't trained you yet. A 4-man escort later, you step into an empty gym tucked away in the corner on the campus. Tatum sweeps the area, checking the locker rooms, storage cupboards, every possible hiding place. All clear. Where is everyone? I had the staff leave for a couple hours. The team will man every point of entry while we train. Wow. Thank you for being so thorough. Really makes me feel safer, knowing that you and the others are taking the attack so seriously. Your safety means everything to me. I mean us, the team. You hide a smile as he turns toward the punching bags. Come on, let's find something you can beat up on. Music to my ears. Tatum holds a punching bag steady for you, slapping it with his palm. Okay, first things first, no punching. Seriously? Punching someone is the best way to break your knuckles. When someone with more power training rushes you, you're gonna have to think fast and smart. Your knees, your feet, and the heels, and the sides of your hands are the strongest weapons you have. You need to use them against the weakest areas of your opponent. Are you asking me to knee my attacker in the balls? Doesn't that break some kind of code? There's no bro code during an attack, but no. Only go for the groin as a last resort. For starters, your attacker might not have balls. Plus, groin injuries cause people to fold inwards towards you. Tatum identifies positions on the punching bag as he speaks. Nose, throat, knees. You'll need to size up your opponent and quickly identify which spot is within reach. But for now, we'll assume they're about your height. Alright, let's do this. Start with the nose. What are you gonna do? My fist, the heel of my hand. You flex your palm and drive the heel of it firmly into the punching bag's nose. Take that. Good. You stun them a little, but we want to break their nose. Get them so dazed and bloody that you have time to get away. Put all your body weight into it behind it. Tatum shifts, moving behind you to guide your body as you practice the move again and again. Yeah! Good. That should buy you a solid minute to run. Now, say they've grabbed you by the arm. Okay, sounds like I'm not doing so hot. But their neck is exposed and within reach. How do you get free? I'd go for their neck with the side of my hand. Listen, we save the teeth for personal time, okay? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You wind back one arm and bring it hard against the side of the bag in a horizontal chop. Yeah! Good. Make sure you lead with the side of your palm, not your fingers. Try again, pummeling your bag into the palm into the bag. Like this? Exactly. Where should I aim for on an actual neck? The jugular. Tatum pulls his collar aside, showing the long curve of his neck. If you get a clear shot at the throat, go for the esophagus. Otherwise, you want to strike between the ear and the shoulder, giving it everything you've got. It'll hurt like hell. And then I run? Yes. The moment their grip loosens, and don't look back. A nod, committing his advice to memory. Okay, last one. How would you do damage to an attacker's knees? I would sweep the leg. Or literally kick out a knee, for those of you who actually do a little bit of martial arts. You're crouched like an action star and swing your leg around, kicking the bag hard from the side. And stay down. And now do it like you have a split-second tagged. What was wrong with that? Your thinking was good, but a kick like that from someone who isn't highly trained won't have enough strength to take someone down. You've also put yourself in a vulnerable position physically. A large attacker could throw themselves on top of you. Damn unrealistic action movies. What should I do instead? No, you just have to sweep the leg, but in a different way. Keep it simple, raise your leg, slam your heel into their knee as they get closer. Well, that was my original advice, but you know. He holds you steady as you follow his instruction. The punching bag swings violently backward as you take out its knee. Better. Now let's put this into practice into the ring. Do you want to fight me? I want you to take me out. He leads you to the boxing ring and holds the ropes apart for you. He climbs through after you, cracking his knuckles and rolling his neck. I'm gonna try and restrain you. Size me up, defend yourself accordingly, don't hold back. Okay, but without warning, Tatum charges you. You flinch as the memory of your attack flashes through your mind. You force yourself to focus on the present moment. I should go for his neck, or nose, excuse me. You thrust your palm up hard towards his nose. He winces as you connect, but his height means you haven't got the right power behind him. Oh. I guess we should have gone with the neck. Tatum doesn't slow down. He hooks his arms around you, dropping you easily to the mat and pinning you tightly beneath him. You look into his dark eyes, your body pulsing with adrenaline. Tatum. Listen, we're trying to work out here, okay? Let's try and keep focused. Try again. I'll get it right this time. He climbs off you, then offers a hand to pull you to your feet. Don't worry. We'll keep practicing until it becomes muscle memory, until it becomes a reaction, not a thought. Bring it on. You train until Tatum's advice becomes instinct. After hours of exertion, you sag under the ropes of the ring, panting a little. Are you feeling better? Me, we came here for you. I think we both know we came here for you as much as we did for me. But, You join the ropes with a pained groan. Was less constantly anxious about you, Count. Because then, yes, maybe now I'll be able to get some sleep. How do you feel? You think of the assailant running towards you in the snow, but this time you don't feel so afraid. This time you know exactly how you would handle yourself. I feel in control. Okay, listen, now can we make out? You return home a short while later, your body starting to ache from Tatum's drills, but feeling safer than you have in a while. The evening finds you wondering whether you can be bothered to get DeMarco to organize a security detail to escort you to dinner. What do you think, Marshmallow? Fresh air and widespread scrutiny, or takeout? How about DoorDash? Do they not have that on campus? Suddenly you hear a thud from the living room. What was that? Hey, get your hands off me! You open your door to find one of the windows wide open and Murphy with a hold on Blaine. Come on, Murph, you know me. We're buds, remember? I will break you, small man. Okay, fine. Maybe we're not buds, but you can't honestly tell me you don't want some of this. Blaine hefts a takeout bag under Murphy's nose, filling the air with a delicious smell. I will break you and then eat your food. Wow, you sure you're actually human? Blaine, what are you doing? Apparently, Mr. Strong, silent type here doesn't think climbing through the window is an appropriate way to reach you. Mind calling him off? That depends. You're not here to cause any trouble, right? Surprisingly, I've only got noble intentions tonight. First time for everything, right? I'm not sure I believe you, but that takeout bag makes me willing to give you a chance. You wave Murphy away, and he trudges off reluctantly, leaving you alone with Blaine. You're lucky Tatum is off duty tonight, or you'd already be in an interrogation cell. Honestly, I didn't expect Murphy to be here at all, or either, with Dee at the dining hall. So what do I owe this visit? You've been laying pretty low since the attack. Thought I'd see how you were doing. But officially I'm here to hang out with Dee, and just now realizing she's not around. Whoops. Blaine flops onto the couch, tossing the bag he's holding onto the coffee table. The smell coming in from the inside is irresistible. Marshmallow pads curiously to the bag of food, giving it a sniff. Blaine gently moves him away. I didn't say you could touch my cat. No way, little man. This is people food. How dare you treat a cat like they're not people? Your stomach rumbles loudly. So if you hadn't noticed, I'm a little hungry. Not sure if this will help. I found a place near here that does Ardonian cuisine, but it may be too much for your Rutherlandian palate. Ardonian food? Since you just gave me a jab, I'm gonna give you a jab. What does it taste like? Entitlement and corruption? Naturally. They're what makes their cheese so fragrant. Maybe I'll just order a pizza. Absolutely not. You're on this train now. Treat yourself to something decadent. There's the bag under your nose. The smell of rich, melting cheese drives several hundred years of history out of your head. It smells way too good to be that fermented fish thing you guys eat, so I think it'll be good. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. As it happens, tonight we're serving... Blaine grins and begins pulling food out of the bag. The smell of fresh bread hits you as he unwraps a loaf. That smells so good. But wait, there's more. He produces a caricature board, carefully arranging the cheeses and meats. And I'm really hungry. How many of you could spell a caricature, let alone read it? I give you the fromage flambé. Blaine lights one of the cheeses on fire. Whoa, it's so much more flammable than I expected. The finest dining you'll ever get is a simple food plated nicely. Or at least that's what my grandma used to say. After a few more minutes, Blaine blows out the flame. You tear off a piece of the herby salted bread and smear a healthy helping of cheese over it. It tastes divine. You never mentioned your grandma before. Were the two of you close? Yes and no. She wasn't much of a kid person, and nobody in my family is exactly what you'd call warm or fuzzy. Where does the yes part come in now? She tolerated me, which is a big improvement over how she felt about everyone else. Fair enough. I made this for her once. I lived with her for a couple months when I was about 9, when Mom and Dad were off on the round-the-world trip. One night she wanted a fromage flambé. I was trying to impress her, so I begged her to let me make it for her instead of the servants. I feel the story is headed towards disaster. Not at all. I made the best fromage flambé she's ever tasted. She didn't understand how I could make it so much better than her personal chef. And what was your secret? I swear to God if he says made with love. I used the Ardonian monk cheese she'd been saving for a special occasion. Wait, you mean from the monastery in the mountains? The one that makes 10 wheels of cheese like every 5 years? That's the one. Was she angry? She never found out. What? She'd had that cheese for 20 years. She was never gonna eat it. I think she'd forgotten she even had it. I'm sorry, cheese for 20 years? How exactly does that even stay fresh and not moldy? What did you tell her? That I made it with love. Oh, for the love of I told you. And that's what made it so special. And that worked? Not at all. She said not to ruin the flavor with my syrupy sentimentally. You laugh, meeting his eyes. They're crinkled with a smile, and there's a hint of pain there. So, do you still get to see her often? She died. There was an attack on my family a couple years back. It was a big news story at the time, and she... Blaine opens his mouth to continue and then shakes his head. Never mind. Just... You don't want to hear about that. You've got enough trauma to deal with. You don't need mine. Blaine shoots you a soft smile and motions to the rest of the food on the coffee table. So now that my delivery's done, I can leave the rest of what's in the bag with you. And dip. Or I could stick around and we can commiserate over a frankly upsetting amount of cheese. But it's up to you. I totally get it if you need some time to yourself, though personally, the idea of not spending the night next to you is almost physically painful. Eat dinner with Blaine for a chance to learn more about his past and share a fiery moment. Have an indoor picnic with Blaine. Honestly, I don't want to be alone tonight. So you're saying even an Ardonian is better than solitude? Even you. But only because you promised to feed me. And I intend to keep that promise. Come on. Two of you relocate to the kitchen counter, and Blaine removes the cover from the next container, unleashing the heavenly smell of marinated meat and spices. May I present duck stew? Duck stew looks delicious with that bread. Okay, I admit Ardonians might know a few things about how to eat. If Rutherlandians admitted that more often, the history of our two countries would be a lot more different. You take a spoonful of the stew, perfectly cooked and seasoned meat, filling your palate with a rich, hearty flavor. Oh my god, it's gonna be... I'm gonna be dreaming about this for a few weeks. That's why Ardonians only eat this on special occasions. It's too powerful for everyday consumption. My grandma had a killer recipe for him. She wouldn't let the family cook anywhere near the kitchen when it was time to make duck stew. Because she didn't want them to step on her toes? Nope, because it's a family secret. She never even wrote the recipe down. When she died, the recipe died with her. Just add it to the pile of what we lost that day. You mentioned an attack. Who was the target? Blaine concentrates on ripping off another piece of bread, his voice even as he dips it in the stew. His voice even as he dips it in the stew. His voice what? Choices. Try proofreading before you publish. We still don't know. They planted a bomb under my family's car while we were at the opening of a new embassy. They could have just been after their dad or all of us, but the bomb went off too soon. It exploded as we were approaching the car. That must have been terrifying. It definitely wasn't as cool as it looks in the movies. And your grandma, she died in the attack. He uses humor as a defense mechanism. Welcome to the club, Blaine. No, she wasn't hurt in the attack, but she changed afterward. She refused to leave her house, got suspicious of her security team and staff. After that, her health went downhill pretty quick. The attack made her so afraid to live. I'm so sorry, Blaine. You must think I'm an idiot for all these precautions over a can of red paint. Blaine lets out a breath and looks at you. Look, you were attacked. Doesn't matter what you were attacked with, it's always scary. I'm glad you and your team are taking it seriously, but he sighs heavily, staring in the depths of the stew. I know better than anyone fear can just be as bad as any physical damage. Maybe worse. He reaches out to cup your cheek, and you lean into his touch. Just promise me you won't let this make you too afraid to live your life the way you want to. Blaine, I promise. The attack was scary, and it easily could have been worse, but I'm not gonna let my fear control me. I won't give the attackers that satisfaction. Good. I know that's a lot easier said than done, so if you need someone, I know where to find you. Tell me more about your family. I know their basic political history, but that's it. That's because I have a personal policy to avoid talking about them as much as possible. Because you're embarrassed by them? Are you kidding? You saw how they acted during Parents' Weekend. That was like half a conversation. They're more embarrassed by me. I don't talk about them because when you're the first son of our donor, it's hard not to take a conversation or have one about my parents. It's all anyone ever wants to talk about. Yes, I know the feeling. I knew you would, and I'd like to point out that I haven't probed you for details about your mom. That's because you don't care. Blaine smirks and shrugs. Well, I care about you, and I know she's an unavoidable part of your life. Seems like I should know something. Fine, then how about a trade? I'll give you one embarrassing story about Mom, and you give me one about your parents. Deal? Deal. Go on, I'm listening. Well, there was this one time, she forgot me at a rally. That ought to be good. She was running for the president of Ratherland the first time, so it was right around when I started high school. I was part of her campaign. I'd go on stage, make her seem like a regular soccer mom, Winston's idea. Not a bad strategy. I bet it made her seem less intimidating to the voters. Bingo! Anyway, it was a really important rally in a swing country, and it's all she talked about for weeks. I don't think I'd ever seen her so nervous, even on election night. She swung by my school to pick me up, and the principal convinced her to do a quick photo op. It took longer than expected, so they had to rush my mom to the rally, and when she tried to introduce me, I was nowhere to be found. She forgot her ace in the hole at the high school. Alright, I'll admit that's pretty good, but I'm pretty sure I can top it. Doubtful. Game on. Allow me to tell you about the time my dad challenged one of his cabinet members to a duel. A duel? That can't be legal. It is in Ordona. There's an obscure law that lets the Prime Minister challenge someone to a duel if they have sufficiently wounded his honor and that of the nation. And when was the clause first written? About 500 years ago. Last employed shortly thereafter, but that didn't stop my mom from telling her dad to go for it. Your mom? What did this cabinet member do? Oh, that's the best part. He insulted the striker on the Undunian national football team. My mom happens to be a super fan. I've literally never seen her so upset. Okay, I know I didn't know much about your parents, but damn. My favorite part is that the cabinet member accepted the duel. That's how bad he thought the striker was. And how'd your dad feel about all this? Oh, not good. He was not prepared to die in a duel over some athlete my mom was crushing on, but there he was. So, what happened? Did they have pistols at dawn or whatever? Not quite. The night before, the striker had some crazy goal in stoppage time to win the game, so my mom took that as proof she had already won the point. She let my dad withdraw the challenge. Wow. Your story is definitely weirder than mine. No contest. I hate to say I told you so, but no, you don't. Now that I've got you, I've buttered you up. Blaine opens up the final container. Dessert? It looks like oatmeal. Is that pudding? No, that looks like oatmeal, fam. Careful where you point that lack of enthusiasm. This is the national dessert of Ordona we're talking about. It's, whole milk mixed with grated ginger rice, a little honey, and a touch of added sugar. The ginger gives it the amazing spice, and you cook it so long it comes out with the texture of velvet. Come on, you know you want to try it. You take a hesitant spoonful of the pudding, and your eyes open wide at the explosion of flavor, the sweetest, slight sweetness of the honey, the spicy ginger. Ah, ginger is always spicy. And the creaminess of the milk. Wow, really packs a punch. The beauty is in the simplicity. Anyone can make this, and it's still delicious. When you put it that way, I can see how this is Ardonian national dessert. You take a spoonful after spoonful of the pudding, focusing in on the silence, on the dessert in front of you. But when you look up, you notice Blaine's only got eyes for you, the intensity of his stare, almost warm on your skin. Listen, he's envisioning you know, him being the spoon. Blaine, listen, we haven't got enough private time, so, why not? I'm gonna kiss you now. You lean over and press your lips to Blaine's. They taste like honey and ginger. Wait a second. What did I do to deserve that? You were here when I needed you? Also, you brought all this food. I hear it's a great way to a man's heart and his cholesterol and heart disease. You kiss him again, and then he wraps his arm around you, pulling you closer. You saw as Blaine's hand moves down to the small of your back, coming to a rest along your waist. This might actually be better than my sacred Ardonian dessert. It's definitely sweeter. He chuckles as he leans in to capture your lips. You trail a hand along his cheek, gazing into his eyes. I'm glad you came over. I needed this. What about this? He trails his mouth down your neck, pressing open mouth kisses to your skin that leave you breathless. Then he makes his way up to the sensitive spot just behind your ear, and you shiver in his arms. Is this what you need, Clark? Yes, Blaine. Shh. I want to focus on you. He teases you with his tongue. You reach out and pull his lips back to yours. So, had enough? Never. You kiss again, softly at first, but growing in intensity. He sucks on your bottom lip, and you run your hands up and down his back, holding him close. You melt together, legs tangled, hands roaming, as you slide to the ground, dessert forgotten in the favor of something even sweeter. Then Tatum comes in the room. How dare! And then you watch as the whole girl-on-girl becomes guy-on-guy thing for anyone who cares. The next morning, you hear the muffled sounds of an argument outside your door. You can check me for weapons or recording devices or whatever you want. I just needed to talk to him. What's going on? You hurry out to find Agent DeMarco and his team standing with like a brick wall in front of the door, blocking Ayna. Clark. Ayna. Even at this distance, you can't help but notice that she looks tired, disheveled, like she hasn't slept since the last time you spoke. Good. Let her continue this way for a few days. DeMarco, Presley, move aside. I can't advise that, Mr. Clark. We're under strict orders not to let anyone in. Whose orders? Because last time I checked, you worked for me. I promise I'm not here to cause you any more trouble. Marco and Presley glower at her, but move aside. You let Ayna in, you sweet. I wouldn't have let her that far. Crossing your arms as she takes a seat on the couch, your bodyguards stand at the edge of the room, ready to jump at a moment's notice. Thank you for talking to me, Clark. I know it must be difficult after what I've done. Ayna, I'll hear you out. But only because I deserve answers, not because you deserve my time. And that's how to... I like that mentality. Right, I get that. Ayna clears her throat and smooths out her skirt before forcing herself to meet your gaze. First, I want to apologize again. I know sorry doesn't even begin to cover the hurt I've caused you, but I've decided to tell you anything you want to know. Anything that might help you uncover who ordered your attack. Why should I trust anything you say? This could all be another trick. I know it's not worth much, but my word is all that I can offer. You narrow your eyes at her. Fine. What did you tell your employer about me? Mostly just information on what you did at school, details on your schedule, when I knew it, and it was I was also encouraged to set you up for a scandal. Which is why you partnered me up with Blaine for the project and wouldn't let us trade. I suggested pairing to the Professor Masako, yes. And when that didn't work, you told the press that where I'd be the night during Parents' Weekend. Not exactly. I gave my contact blueprints of the campus, and then included some secret tunnels that would let them sneak in and out undetected. I think the press followed us and used the tunnels to get away so quickly. And what about what happened between us? Was that part of the setup too? No. Like I said, our relationship isn't part of... I never meant for any of this to happen. But you knew the paparazzo was there that night. I knew that someone had it out for you. That's all. That's a whole hell of a lot if you ask me, Ayna. I know. And you claim to have no idea who your employer is. None. I wasn't lying when I said I had never met him. Look. She pulls out her phone, taps through it for a moment, and then hands it to you. You appear at the screen, scrolling through a series of terse messages from an unknown number. Ooh, let's scroll up. Ooh, scroll, baby, scroll. Update. Ski trip tomorrow, Camp Irene. Paparazzi have been tipped off. School itinerary attached. Unaware of any personal plans. Update. Paparazzi followed him all day. Didn't sound like they got anything, though. More skiing planned for tomorrow. Maybe a date with Evelyn. Needs schedule. I don't think he has a set schedule for tomorrow. Then make one. Keep me posted. Breakfast with Evelyn at a cafe. Back on the slopes. Same runs as yesterday. Heading back to the lodge. We'll try to arrange a run-in. Just left the lodge, very upset, trying to clear his head. I suggested he go to the lake. What the hell was that? You never said you'd attack him. Answer me! Why did you keep messaging him when he even wasn't saying update? A long silence hangs between the two of you. If our relationship meant anything to you, then why didn't you stop? You knew what they were capable of after the tabloid cover. Would you believe me if I said I had no choice? The motherfucker didn't even message update. You had a choice. Ayna, there's always a choice, and you made yours. You may have done the same in my position. No, I wouldn't have. Abused my position as a TA to spy on a student? Not likely. You don't understand. I was backed into a corner and... Oh, if you came here to give me excuses, Ayna, then you can leave right now. I understand. Then if you'll allow me, I think I owe you a full explanation. You deserve to know why I was willing to compromise everything I stand for. Get the full story behind Ayna's actions and peek into her personal life. Listen. There's a new me if you haven't noticed, and I just don't give a shit. But I will hear her out nonetheless for all of you. Fine, start talking. It'd be better if I showed you why, instead of just tell you. No way, I'm not falling for that. It's not a trick. You can bring all your guards, it's just... There's someone I need you to meet. You look at her for a long moment, searching for any signs that she might be setting you up, and then turn to DeMarco. I need an escort to... Where are we going? Not far. The hospital on 28th Street. Copy that! Half an hour later. You follow Ayna through the twisting labyrinth of hospital corridors. She walks like she's made this journey 100 times. Do you remember what I told you about my dad? He raised you alone after your mom died. You said he was your hero. That's right. He was diagnosed with colon cancer last year. Stage 3. Ah, look at that. I was right about this too. Ayna, what does this have to do with your employer? Dad and I tried to scrape together the money to pay for his treatment, but he works for the local government and I'm a TA. Even with insurance and the copay was too high, I tried to take out a loan, but nobody would approve me. Welcome to my problem. Let me guess, the mystery man offered to pay for your dad's treatment. She nods and wipes a tear from her eye. He was good on his word. He paid up front, before I'd even met you. He saved my dad's life. Giving him information seemed like such a small thing in return. You take a deep breath, trying to process everything. Okay. I get that you were trying to help your dad, but you put my life at risk. I didn't think the man on the phone wanted to hurt you. He just wanted to expose you as a spoiled rich first son to create a scandal. And you agree just like that? It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. Not with my dad getting worse every day. I didn't realize you'd be so different. But you kept spying on me after we got close. Was any part of our relationship even real, or was it a ploy to get closer to me? All of it was real, Clark. I may have made a point to meet you, but everything that came after that was real. Everything I felt, everything I did, I meant it. But not enough to stop spying on me. I believed him because I wanted it to be that simple. For me to be less to blame. There was no other way to cover my dad's treatment. Don't you have a government program to cover low-income patients? Why didn't you just apply for that? I did, but it's an outdated program with a loophole that lets them disqualify most of the people who apply for it. Trust me, I fought with representatives for weeks over it, and they modeled it after the Rutherland's legislation. Wait, that can't be right. Yes, it is. The last president of Rutherland used it as a band-aid to look like he was taking action on healthcare without actually doing anything, and your mom hasn't even tried to fix it. Oh. Sounds like America's healthcare system. So you really were backed into a corner. Fine. But don't blame my mom for your decisions. Your choices are yours alone. I'm not even trying to blame her. I know, even if she did do something for Rutherland, there's no guarantee our program would change too. I'm just trying to explain how I got here. I really felt like I had no other options. Ayna falls silent, stops outside a patient room. A man lies on the bed inside, his face hidden behind a book. She turns to you. Please promise you won't say anything to him about this and what I did. If not for me, for him. It would destroy him. Alright. You signal for Agent DeMarco and your other guard to stay outside the room and follow Ayna in. Dad? The man lowers his book, his eyes glow at the sight of Ayna. Ayna, I didn't know you were coming to see me today. Last minute plan. I have someone I want you to meet. Dad, this is Clark Kent. Clark, this is my dad. Clark Kent, the first son of Rutherland? Well, this is a treat. He sits forward, holding his hand out to you. You take it, and he gives you a warm, firm shake. It's nice to meet you. I'm sorry to hear about your condition. That's kind of you. It's been a tough year. We've had some financial difficulties. But Ayna is relentless. She got on the phone, made everything work out. I should thank you and your mother too, Clark. I believe your government's program is based on yours. That's at Ayna. She sends you a silent, pleading message. No thanks necessary. I hope she can expand the program even further in her next term and inspire your country to do the same. If anyone can shake things up, it's her. Dad likes to keep up with international news. He's a big fan of your mom's. Oh, well, I'm sure if she had the chance to meet you, she'd say the same. Dad, are you comfortable? Let me adjust your pillows and I'll get you some more water. Careful, Ayna. You're gonna put the hospital's nurses out of a job. You watch Ayna and her dad, and you can tell that they dawd on each other. It reminds you the way you and your mom used to be. What would I do if Mom needed me to save her life? So why did you drag poor Clark to this sad corner of the city? Surely you and the first son have more interesting things to do. Oh, we came because, Ayna wanted me to meet her hero. He looks from you to Ayna, his eyes filling with happy tears. How much did you pay him to say that? Come on, Dad. Everything I know, I learned from you. He takes Ayna's hand and squeezes it tightly. No one could even ever be prouder of their kid than I am. Though I'm sure the president could give me a run for my money. Are you, as good to your mother as Ayna is to me, Clark? I try to be. The door opens and a nurse enters to take his vitals. Ayna kisses her dad's forehead. I think that's our cue. I'll call you tonight. I'll clear my schedule. It was nice to meet you, Clark. Same here, Mr. Seth. Please, call me Arjun. You and Ayna step into the corridor. Closing the door behind you, she meets your eye. Thank you for being kind to him. Of course, I'm sorry he's going through this. She wipes her eyes and wraps her arms around herself. I know this doesn't make up for what I did, but I hope this at least helps you understand why it happened. I forgive you. I don't like what you did, but if I'd been in your shoes, well, I can understand why you did it at least. Thanks. I don't deserve it, but I'm grateful. So, what happens now between us, I mean? I don't know. I still need time to process everything, and so do you. I really don't know how to get out of this, Clark. We'll find a way. The two of you make your way back to the hospital entrance, Ayna's eyes distant and troubled. By the time night falls, you're emotionally exhausted and you lay in your bed thinking. Marshmallow curls up beside you, purring gently. What a day. What do you think of all this, Marshmallow? Ow! He licks your chin and you scratch his cheek, falling back into thought. This is all so much to process. I don't want to bust Ayna, but I need a second opinion. Tatum should be on duty now. Maybe I'll fill him in on what I found out. You slip into the living room and approach the front door. As you pause, as you realize you can hear Tatum's voice coming from outside. His words turn your blood to ice. You're taking me off Clark's security detail. What? You've uncovered more of the plot against you, but are you willing to do without Tatum to protect you? Find out on the next chapter. And thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. And without further ado, once again, thank you all for watching. I will just say this after the last couple days of garbage in this world. We're not going to harp on it. That's for a different time in a different video. I'll just say this. Be kind to one another. Seriously, if you're watching this channel and you have any hate, resentment, or anything else in you, I'm going to appeal to hopefully your humanity and say, move on from it. You should not hate anyone based on their race, their gender, anything, really. And I hope that just by that, you'll let go of it. Just by that. Because this world needs better people in it. Period. And hopefully you are one of those better people. So, thanks for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out.